You in this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this will be a piece of cake. Plus you're fake, I can tell while I'm hotter than hell. Fuck Microsoft Word, I'm about to excel.
Folks, good morning. Welcome to the Before Hours podcast, an internet radio phenomenon hosted by an occasional morning person. I ask the most interesting people I know about their sleep, their routine, life, love, stress, setbacks, and whatever else comes to mind. If you want to talk to us, you want to talk to me, write to the Before Hours podcast at gmail.com. If you have a question, you want to tell us what your morning routine is, I might read it on the air. Questions, comments, constructive criticism, I'm ready to hear it all, baby. Even the unconstructive criticism, as long as it's interesting. But without further ado, good friend of mine, you've seen him on Comedy Fight Club. You've seen him on Diablo Radio, which is Spanish for devil radio.
Yeah.
Please welcome to the podcast, Jesse Montanez.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jesse?
Quick change.
Ooh.
I don't do Diablo anymore.
Now, if I did a modicum of homework, I would have known that.
I mean, it's been really recent, and everyone knows me as the guy who's on Diablo. So I get it.
Do you want to air the dirty laundry?
No, I just didn't. I don't like having a podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Just straight up. Like it's just that it wasn't enjoyable for me anymore.
Okay.
And I would just wanted to attack something different.
Okay.
So I'm just doing like different stuff now.
Okay.
That's like, I love Pedro. That's my boy. He still does the podcast. The podcast still goes. They're still putting out episodes. It's just, I'm gone.
I have a similar relationship with Locker Room Talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we are.
I know we both decided the podcasts were gay at the same time.
Yeah. Do you get DMs from people being like, "Are you and Pedro worst enemies?" That happens to me on a fairly regular basis.
Not DMs. I mean, a couple people will be like, "Oh, you got beef with Pedro?" It's like, no.
Yeah.
Still, we DM. We talk shit about other comics. We send we send each other.
There's still a group chat, baby.
Yeah, exactly. We still talk shit about other people to each other all the time. No, I don't have any problem with them. I just for me, I felt like podcasting was like taking away from my stand-up, which is like, that's my top thing. I want to be as good as stand-up as possible.
100%.
And when you do, I feel like I did podcasting, especially like in that funny realm where you just got to be funny, like you know how a podcast is, like you got to have a quip immediately. I just felt like it took away from me writing good bits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to be a great stand-up. I'm not trying to be a great podcaster. I don't really care.
It's interesting now because I feel like a lot of comedians have podcasts and a lot of comedians are known from their podcasts, and it might take away from their ability.
It for sure does.
Yeah, you think so?
I think the level of, if you look at stand-up, now the quality is low.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking about like, when was like the first podcast? Like 2008, 2010. Ever since then, the great specials, there hasn't been that many. You know, like when you're thinking about like a fucking Elephant in the Room or like a Bill Burr special, like a really special, there's just not that many anymore. You know, like how many classic stand-up specials can you think in the last 5 years?
Oh yeah.
and really there's only one guy doing them. It's fucking Louis and it's fucking Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Everyone else is putting out crap specials. And top guys in the world, in my opinion.
Even like I really like Tom Segura, but his last special had a lot of inside baseball in it. Because I don't really listen to the podcast, so I thought that was interesting.
I hated it.
Really, you hated it?
I felt like it was just like him. It was like fan service for his fans. And I don't listen to his podcast, so I don't care about his inside jokes. And it's like, if that's what it is, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to be that.
And Louis and Shane are like, they're the everyman. Even though they're edgy, they're also like the most like accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's no part of their act where they're like, oh, but you have to listen to, them on the radio or their podcast or their show. It's like, no.
Also, they're rooted in like everyday life things, which I feel like a lot of comedians aren't anymore, because they're selling like, I'm this guy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of comedians like, I'm this guy. There's a lot of comedians, I won't name any, who are like, I have blank, like I have osteoporosis. I'm the osteoporosis comedian. but you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah.
name, like, there's a guy that's really coming to mind, but I'm not gonna name him.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he's like, oh, I'm like, I have this, and this, and it's
Yeah.
just like, dude,
I'm neurodivergent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're naming him. But it's just like, dude, like, have a wife and kids, like, be a normal person. You don't, like, there's so many people that have like autism or fucking have ADHD. Like, you're not special for that.
Yeah.
That's not something that you can build a career. And I feel like people are trying to build a career around like a gimmick.
Yeah. And it's hard because I feel like you do have to be marketable, but there's a level of emphasis on marketability that makes you corny and unrelatable.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Where it's just like, I think the whole thing, people just want to skip the line a lot to me. They're just like, oh, I'm trying to, how many times have you talked to a comedian and you walk up and you're trying to be funny and they're like, algorithm.
Yeah.
The algorithm. And you're just like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I came here. When I came to comedy, I came here to like jump in and just like be funny and have like good laughs with people. And then you meet comics and like, well, this video only did 2,500 views,
Yeah.
but this one did 3,500 views. And I
Yeah.
posted that at 12:45 and this one at 12:06. And it's just like, I guess this is success, but I don't want it. Like, I want to be funny.
Dude, I've had I relate to this so much because I've had comics be like, "Oh wow, Bobby, you're always on." I'm like, "You mean joking around with my friends?"
Yeah, I came here to goof. That's what I came. I fucking have my fucking life sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have a legitimate talk about about TikTok's
Yeah.
creative policy. I don't care about it. If my shit gets banned, which it has,
Yeah.
I'll just get banned.
You know what makes me sad is when you see, and I participate in this, full disclosure, but like captioning videos and like censoring the naughty words.
I hate it.
I hate it. I do it, but I hate that it's
That you
part
have
of my
to do
life.
it. Yeah. It's just like we're all like on network television now.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is not what I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
The whole point of this is to not censor yourself. And then you're everyone's just following like another comedian's thing that works for them. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're not Schultz, bro. Like, what works for Schultz is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
Like, he has so much going for him that you do not understand. You don't even understand what's going on for him.
Yeah.
That you're not that guy. You got to do it your own way. And I feel like a lot of people are not trying to do it their own way. They're just been like, well, this is what you do. You put up clips. You put up clips and then you go viral and you put the captions on them. And it's just like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'd rather die on my shield and just do comedy the way I want to do comedy.
Yeah. 100%. I think when it gets to material too, you can't change like your material. You got to do what
can't.
you got to say what you think is funny.
I wish I could change my material.
Yeah.
Are
you
you
don't have
kidding
the
me?
ability to even.
I wish
Yeah.
I wasn't a psycho.
Yeah. You wish you could have fun thoughts for the whole family.
Yeah. I wish I couldn't go up on stage and be like, I was an incel. And then everyone's like, and I scare people, but it's just like, that's what I do. Like, I had a really great set the other day. And a comic was like, yeah, man, for you to do the comedy the way you do it. And I was like, what am I doing that's so insane? But like, that's the way some people are. And we just live in a different world, I guess. But I'd rather go out the way I want to go out. I refuse to like change myself or at least not be like genuine as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing I can give every comic that does make it, whether you like them or not, is that they're pretty genuine. They tell you who they are, whether they're a piece of shit or I'm a nice guy, I'm a family guy. You pretty much you know who they are, and that's what I hope. I'm something like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, what a way to open.
What a way to open, dude. I feel like right out of the gate we're doing some inside baseball comedy stuff.
What can you do?
I think a large portion of my listenership though are big comedy fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you listen to podcasts, you are into comedy more than like someone who's just flipping on Netflix.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're listening to like a Legion of Skanks, let's say, you want to hear them talk shit about other comics.
Yeah.
That's actually what you came, you know?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been on a subreddit for a fucking
they're
podcast?
vicious.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The way they talk about these other, I feel bad. I'm on the Bonfire subreddit. I love the Bonfire. I've loved it since like it started, and they added like Bobby Kelly once Dan Soder left. Those people are vicious.
Yeah.
And when Bobby's funny, and they're like, they attack him so much.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I would sign up for it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm into it. I'm going for it.
Yeah. I feel like I was prepared. The very low level of attention that I've gotten from doing comedy, I was prepared for the negative aspect of it because I grew up like on the Opie and Anthony subreddit when it still existed.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And like there are people that like hate Opie, of course.
Yeah.
There's people that hate Anthony. There's people that hate Jim.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then what
There's people that hate all three of them.
Yeah.
They hate the entire show.
So like, what are you getting out of this from listening to it?
It's a complete hate watch, and some people love that. You know, like there's like the fighter and the kid that like people literally hate watch it.
Yeah.
Which to me that doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't watch something I don't like. But I think in some way they do like it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like watching something ironically. Where it's just like, yeah, this is bad, and I'm gonna watch it because it's funny.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can imagine. Because like, I don't get people who like watch a whole show and they're like, oh, I fucking hate this guy. And it's like, dude, get a hobby, like, you know, like kiss a girl, touch grass, like work out. You could have done so many things rather than listening to this podcast.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's a comedy fan for you.
Yeah.
I think a comedy fan, a true comedy fan, is actually like a very funny person in real life.
I would think so.
You know? Like I remember I work at the Dojo of Comedy in New Jersey, and a guy, I opened for Danny Polishchuk, and I talked to a guy after the show, and he was like, I was like, do you have an Instagram? Can you follow me on Instagram? It's like, no, I only have a Twitter. I was like, I have a Twitter. You can follow me there. He's like, oh no, I only harass celebrities on my on my Twitter. That's all I do. So if you follow me, I'm just going to harass you. And I was like, you're an O&A fan, right? And he was like, how did you know that? And I was like, of course.
Yeah, that sounds like a pest.
That's an O&A fan. Like that's a horrible thing to do. It is funny. Like that is funny that a grown man just harasses celebrities in his free, and he's like, he has a job, a mortgage, children. And he's like, you fucking, you know, he's like sending Elijah Wood like, you're fucking stupid and gay. I love that.
Just memes with Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer, they hate the most.
Oh yeah, she gets it.
Yeah,
she gets it. But you know what? It's she kind of brings it on herself.
Dude, the whole Brendan Sagalow thing.
Yeah.
Yikes.
She got, you know, that's what happens when the comedian gets a little too big.
So I guess for anybody that doesn't know the story, just real quickly, Brendan Sagalow is a funny comedian, and he had, I believe what it was, his first headlining set at Caroline's, back when Caroline's existed, a comedy club near Times Square. And that's a big deal to do your first like hour at a club. And apparently, this was a couple years ago. Apparently, Amy Schumer stopped in, wanted to do a quick 10.
Halfway through a set.
Halfway through, yeah. Like, apparently, they even told her, they were like, I mean, he's doing an hour, but when he's done, you could go up.
Yeah.
Which would have been that would take.
But to defend Amy, Brendan, stand up for yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Like, say no. Be like, no,
he could have said no.
I'm doing an hour in front of my family.
But that's an impossible situation, though.
Not really. If you have like even a little bit of self-respect.
No, that's not. I don't think you're being fair.
You know, like I don't know, but I'm a burn bridges guy. You know, like if you disrespect me, I will go to the end of the earth to destroy things. Like I will be like, yeah, I don't need to do fucking I will destroy everything so Amy Schumer can't get this spot. But that's just how I am.
My thing with him is I think at first I relate to how Brendan handled it. By the way, just to put a bow on this, she during Brendan Saglow's headlining set at Caroline's, she interrupted him in the beginning of a set and said, "Can I do 10 minutes?" Because she wanted to run the material she was going to do on Saturday Night Live next week. And he said,
That she
"Yeah,
could have
sure."
done in any club in the entire city.
What was she even
By the way.
doing by Caroline? She should have been on McDougal Street. You and I know more about fucking comedy in New York than she does, apparently.
I think she was just there. Like I said, I think when a comic gets too big, it's not good for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think you gotta. There's something about you have to eat shit.
Yeah.
You have to, because regular people eat shit.
Yeah.
If you're not eating shit, then you're not a real person. You know, if people are kissing your ass and they're telling you you're great and you're fucking killing it, you're not a comic.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to eat some shit every now and then. That's being funny. The thing a lot of people fall for in comedy is like they try and be like, oh, I'm the great one, when it's like, no, I'm the guy who like trips. You know, like the guy who I did a show at a weed convention and I drank too much weed. They had weed syrup and I bought it and I drank half the bottle, which is a stupid.
Yeah. Right before you have to talk in front of people.
And I got so high that it got me violently sick and I started throwing up in front of all the other comics.
Oh no. You know what? Shout out to the comics that were there because I have somehow not heard this story.
Yeah. But like, that's what being a comic is. It's eating shit. You know, it's like, it's throwing up on the ground and having someone fall in it and be like, that's my fault. And someone takes you home and you throw up in their car twice. Oh, no. You know, like, and then and then like this fucking guy, I felt so bad. I threw up in his car, and then like I had a bag full of vomit, and I threw up on his car mat, and he was like, "You got to take this." So like he pulled me off in front of my house, and I just have a bag full of vomit and a car mat. And I'm like, "What do I fucking do with this? What do I do with this bag full of vomit?" So I just threw it in like an empty lot, but like it's too close to my house. It's like.
Yeah, the guy just saw you do that and walk inside.
I see it every day. I see it every day. But like, what am I? I'm not gonna go and throw it away. It's a bag full of vomit. So, but like that's what being a person is to an extent. And it's just like that is, to me, that's like other people, like normal people just don't say that. They'll just be like, that never happened.
Yeah.
You know. But me, I'll go on stage and be like, when Conor McGregor broke his leg, I passed out and peed my pants because it was just it was too much gore for me, which did happen. When Conor McGregor broke his leg, I saw it and I passed out and I ended up peeing my pants. But that's what happens.
That's what being a comedian
That's what being a comedian is getting too scared for gore. I can't handle it.
But I see what you're saying. Like, what makes you a comedian is that you don't just never bring that up ever.
Yeah, it always just that. Yeah, it's a normal person would be like, you know, like I was with another comedian when that happened, and he was like, "I'll tell nobody," and I was like, "I'm gonna go tomorrow and say this." You know, like this is funny. I have to.
There's a strength in being that vulnerable, I think. When I'm talking to people and they notice that I ordered a Diet Coke at a bar, they'll be like, "You don't drink?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was an alcoholic. I quit in 2016. I got some crazy drinking stories if you want to hear them." You know what I mean? And they're like, "Holy shit!" Because you can't do that anywhere else. You can't do that in like an office job or.
No, they would call HR and you know how many times I never try to get too comfortable at a job because then I get in trouble.
Right, same.
Like I remember once I got too comfortable at an office job I had, and I changed everyone's desktop to that meme where it says my wife left me liberal, and I got in trouble. And you just like, you can't be yourself at an office job, or you can, but you're not gonna be there long.
I realized like fairly quickly, I wasn't the funny guy at the office. I really was the quiet guy at the office, because being the quiet guy is safer. You know what I mean? Friendly. I'd be friendly to people, but I wouldn't I think the issue I have with joking around, not on stage, but like socially with other people that aren't comedians, is a very important aspect of humor. I think to me is quickness, like just responding to something really quick.
Yeah.
And that doesn't give you enough time to filter what you're gonna say.
You're just going for funny.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, you have been publicly humiliating yourself for the last 6 years so that you can do this. But there's one thing, if you say comedy things in front of normal people, it's just unhinged statements.
Yeah.
You're just making crazy racist statements. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many times I remember I was in the office and be like, yeah, man, if I had a fucking gun, and everyone would be like, and it was like, no, I'm joking. I wouldn't.
I'm kidding around.
I'm not gonna kill myself here. You know, but it's just like in comedy it would be fine. You know, so it's just like you break your brain. You have no shame anymore, but also that is a hindrance to normal people.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have shame. You know, like you're supposed to get embarrassed when things happen. You're not supposed to be like, this is a fucking awesome story.
Yeah.
You know, you're not supposed to be like, you're not supposed to go on stage the day after and be like, I poisoned all my friends with syrup weed.
Yeah.
You know, like you shouldn't be doing that.
Syrup weed, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I love weed.
I mean, I like I said, I got sober in 2016, so I missed weed candy. I missed readily available legal weed. I missed the low carb alcoholic beverages. Like,
what, you don't do anything? You're real sober?
Real sober.
Really?
Yeah.
What made you? Because I mean, alcohol is way different than like marijuana. What made you think like, oh, I can't even do marijuana?
Yeah, I think I have an addictive personality, and with other stuff I could kind of rein it in, but with substances, not just alcohol, but all substances, I like struggle with a bit. And it started with weed, actually, because that was the first thing that I had access to when I was like 14. I could get weed on a regular basis, and I smoked it constantly. Like that was any spare cash I had and any spare time I had was devoted to smoking weed. Yeah. And I only stopped when I started having access to alcohol, and I'm like, oh, alcohol is so much better. To me,
socially.
To me, it's even though I smoked weed, I didn't like smoking, which is why, I'm sad I missed the edible train. Yeah. Because to me, smoking was always gross. Like, that was always like the part of it you had to get. Yeah, all that. The cotton mouth. Coughing. Yeah. Hate being around someone when they're, even cigarettes. I feel like a lot of people, they smoke cigarettes and they're coughing and they're spitting. The spitting thing drives me crazy. I hate people spitting around me. I hate that when I walk along the sidewalk in New York City that I have to dodge the spit of grown men.
I'm like a Chinese guy.
Yeah.
I'm constantly spitting all the time. I'm a gross animal.
Why?
There's something in there. I gotta get it out.
See, okay, it's something I can't key into because I feel like the only times I spit is when I'm brushing my teeth or when I'm vomiting. Otherwise, I don't even have like the need. It's not that I want to spit and I'm keeping myself from doing it. I don't even feel like I need to.
Did you play sports growing up?
Not well.
Because spitting is a huge part of playing sports.
Oh, like baseball players do it a lot.
Football. Always just but what constantly. Is that? I don't know. They're just like spit. You're thirsty. Just spit.
Oh, does it quell thirst?
I don't know. I think they just like to make dudes disgusting.
Yeah.
I think there's like a social thing where it's like we have to make this guy unfuckable.
We have to,
we have to socially create an unfuckable human.
The two things that I feel like guys do because they think it's tough is spit. And also there's this weird scratching this thing. For those just listening, you put your hand rather under your shirt to sort of show your belly. I always, because to me it's
I do both of those things. You do constantly.
Well, you're the man of the podcast, Jesse. What can I say?
Yeah, I don't know. I do. You know how like there's two kind of manly things. There's like big shoulders and being tall and strong. Yeah. And then there's like being smelly.
Yeah.
You know, like
Okay.
there's two different times of being manly. I'm like the smelly, hairy, gross, not the sexy, tall, like athlete man.
So you're telling me if you were tall, broad shoulders, you might give up the scratch, the
No.
belly scratching, and the
No.
no. You do both.
I'd just get away with it.
Yeah.
You know, I would just get it. Now, then my girlfriend would be like, well, you know, he's hot.
So were you a sports guy growing up? I know you do jujitsu
Yeah,
now.
I was actually a big sports guy.
Okay.
I was really good. I just and then I thought I was gonna be a really good athlete, and then like 14, we were all the same height, and then 15, I was the same height, and everyone had grown.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't keep up. I'm just not as big as them. I'm not as strong as them.
Yeah.
But like all as a kid, I was a really good athlete. I played football in like all through middle school, into high school, volleyball. I was always getting into fights as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. Up until freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And then that's actually kind of a funny story. I was on the football team and I had gotten into like a thing with this kid. And he was like, "You trying to fight?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll fight. I don't give a fuck. I'll fight him." And I came outside after to fight. And then he came out. And then 5 other black guys came out. And they were all going to beat me up. And I was like, "I'm sorry." And then he forgave me. And they didn't beat me up. And I was like, I don't think I ever have to fight ever again.
Yeah.
Because getting beaten to death by 6 dudes.
Yeah.
Once you get there, you're like, I'm good. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm done.
High school is the level where it starts getting serious in terms of physical altercations. Like I've been saying this, that like teenage boys are terrifying, because it's like, what if we took the maturity of children and put it in the body of men? I'm like, what a recipe for disaster.
Yep. You know, give someone the like really hard want and will to prove themselves, and the body of a grown man who can kill somebody. And it happens all the time.
And the need to impress girls who do not care about this at all.
Exactly. Exactly. So like I stopped fighting around high school just because like it was also like, honestly, it was bully mentality. Everyone got bigger and I was like, I can't get on top of someone and just start beating the shit out of them. So it's literally like I am a good part of me is like a real big like savage. I am just a caveman.
A caveman.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
An articulate caveman at that.
Yeah, I was always, I guess, smart. I don't know. Like, but I hated it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do understand what you mean.
I used to, when I was a kid, I used to pretend I couldn't read good because it made me uncomfortable that I read so good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So to me, because we're both like this kind of the same size. I mean, you're more like buff than
Yeah. I'm almost a 200-pounder. Everyone forgets that I'm not like I'm short, but I'm a Joe Rogan.
You're a Joe Rogan guy,
Yeah.
dude. And so I feel like growing up, because I was like bullied in middle school. It kind of ended in high school. High school, I feel like I had a fine experience.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
a terrible high school experience.
Really?
I feel like that's when I got lit up.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, I was invisible in high school, to be fair.
Completely.
Like
Yeah.
nobody gave a shit about me. I wasn't, girls didn't look at me. I was fine. I was like a B student, didn't participate in sports. I feel bad for my parents because at the time, because I was just like smoking weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were like, I understand you don't want to do sports. Do you want to do like the drama club? Do you want to join like the chess team? Do you want to do this or that? And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
What a stressful time.
It's a hard time for a kid.
Yeah.
I rebranded as a music guy.
Okay.
That's what I did in high school. I was like not a sports guy anymore. Gonna learn how to play the bass.
Okay.
Get in a band.
You were in a band?
Yeah, for a long time.
What kind of band?
Like hardcore punk, metal, rock.
Hell yeah.
Loved,
I was in a
played
punk band too in high
man,
school.
it was a fun time. It really was. It was like, it's like one of the passions I found in life.
I think it is kind of talking about like wanting to be a man, like a type of man. You know, if you're a spitting man or a handsome man, those are the two types, if I understand correctly. Also being like a musician, a punk musician, that's kind of manly too, but in a way where you don't have to be like coordinated or strong.
Yeah. Oh, you're just like, oh, fuck it all. You know, like
Yeah.
you're just like, I hate everything, angsty.
Mm-hmm.
But which is actually not cool.
Yeah. Mhm.
You think it's cool,
Yeah.
but it's not.
But I think like it's cringe, but I think if you go through a couple different phases as like a adolescent, that's actually very good for you.
Oh yeah,
Because
for
I
sure.
think you figure out who
What
you
works.
are very
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah.
Because that's what you're looking for. You're literally just like, I am still 5'2",
Mhm.
and everyone else is like 6 feet now.
Yeah.
I've lost my tribe,
Mm-hmm.
and now I got to find a new tribe. I got to find new people,
Mm-hmm.
and you just go from like different group to different group, just
I-
trying to find your people.
I do think that like not getting laid at all in high school was good for me. I think it gave me I like read more books. I learned
Mhm.
how to play music. I learned how to be like an interesting conversationalist, I think, in my humble opinion.
Mhm.
So I think those were good things for me because
But I think you could have done. I
you
think if
could've
you
done
were,
all those
I
things?
think you could have become all those things and also gotten pussy.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
that's because looking back on it, in high school, the only thing I didn't have was confidence. I just had zero confidence.
Okay.
You know, like I was just literally too afraid to walk up to girls and talk to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of kids or like guys are just that way. Like they are just like paralyzed by indecision, fear.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, I mean, it is what it is. I didn't get pussy in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't get pussy until I was a man.
There you go. When you were ready for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fellas, don't get pussy until you're ready for
Get
it.
pussy when you're a fucking man. When you got a mortgage and shit. That's when a real man gets pussy. When you can handle it emotionally.
Mhm.
But I guess it was a good thing. No, it wasn't. it was just a thing, I would say.
I've talked about it on the podcast before, but I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20 years old. But
Same.
Really? See, okay, you're not even the first guy where I've said that, and on the podcast, I mean, that has said like same. But at the time, I thought I was all alone, dude. I thought I was the last person to like not have sex.
Nah, dude, there's still people out there not fucking.
Yeah.
There's people your age not fucking.
Yeah.
They're just not using this.
Oh, dude, it stinks because it's. I think it's a very important part of life.
Oh yeah, you change fundamentally.
Mm-hmm.
Like your body changes, literally. Like once I got pussy, like the amount of like my body changed. Do you know
You
what I
started
mean?
growing hair down there.
yeah. Late puberty, dude. No, but seriously, I got pussy and like I like grew 2 inches. Like yeah, I had like a really late growth spurt
Okay.
in life.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could grow at 20 years old.
Yeah, as actually men can grow up to 21 years old. My cousin, he's actually really tall. He grew like 3 inches when he was like 19.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
But at 33, you don't grow anymore.
You never know.
Actually, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I do remember being in the doctor's office, and he very nonchalantly went, and this is about as tall as you're going to be. And I was like, oh, fuck, really? Because I was always like, oh, well, we could grow up until this age. And then when a medical professional was like, you're at 5'6".
Yeah.
Damn. Which I feel like didn't used to be very short, but now for some reason it feels shorter. With social media and dating apps and all that shit.
No, it's really, I really believe it's like, it's all fake, all that social media shit.
Mhm.
You've had a girlfriend before.
Mhm.
I have a girlfriend right now.
Mhm.
It's fine. Obviously, there's going to be some people who are not into it, but there's a lot of people who will.
Yeah.
And there's like a hard line of yes and no, and then there's a lot of people in the middle, which
Yeah.
you can get with your personality,
Yes.
which is actually the real, like personality is what actually gets a partner.
Yeah.
So I feel like when like a dude is really like, oh, I'm short, it's like you're really just hurting yourself.
Yeah, and there's some people that make it their like entire personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like certain people do that. Yeah. And they try and have a whole career off something that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Like no one cares about someone who's short.
Mm-hmm.
Like think about Kevin Hart. That guy's tiny.
Yeah, dude.
He's fucking his wife is hot.
Yeah.
You know, like he does well.
Mhm.
Like you could do whatever you want.
Mhm.
It's you're not held back by your height or anything.
You should be, I'll say, the best version of yourself. I feel like as long as if you're living a life in which you're not glued to your phone, that's
killing
a
it.
lot of it.
Yeah.
Because your phone is making you sad. And I will say, and it could be a chicken or the egg type of situation, but when I started exercising, tenfold the amount of attention I started getting from women. You know? To be clear, not like a ton, but manifestly more.
Yeah, dude,
just because you look better.
You just fill out your shirt a little bit better. You know, like your clothes just look a little bit better on you.
And for a long time I was like, well, I'm not that type of dude. But don't tell yourself you can't be a type of person because you haven't done that thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And everyone is an exercise person.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should be an exercise
So
person.
I am I can't do sports. I'm too clumsy to throw a ball or catch a ball. Can't do it. Never been coordinated. The nice thing about strength training is you don't have to be coordinated whatsoever.
Yeah.
Form. People talk about form. It's so just Google it, copy it, change the weight incrementally so you don't end up hurting yourself. Don't ego lift, and you'll be fine. And it's, dude, I like, this isn't my thought. I heard someone else say it, but like, strength training is literal autism. Like you're just enjoying the numbers going up. Like I have a little spreadsheet on my phone. It's not this dumb tough guy meathead thing.
And I always found that the weightlifters at the gym are very kind.
Mm-hmm.
Even the huge guys.
Yeah.
Because everyone started off as the weak guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how everyone starts in strength training.
And nobody, by the way, if anybody's looking at you while you're working out, they're not judging you. They want to use the machine next. Like when I first went there, I was like very self-conscious that people were going to be like, look at this little weakling. And then every time I was waiting to get bullied at the gym.
Yeah.
Never happened. Outside of a high school gym, it's never going to happen.
Adults really don't do that to each other. That's all children shit. Mm-hmm. And then once you're an adult, they're just like, yeah, I guess, you know.
I feel like in the corporate landscape a little bit, I felt bullied at work before for sure. I've definitely felt that I was an unwilling participate in coworkers and supervisors' power games for sure. But that's a money and status thing. I think most people when they're at their gym they're self-improvement guys or girls. And those are nice people generally. Not saying that you'll never run into an asshole at a gym, but I do think.
Oh, you'll definitely run into an asshole at a gym. But you normally when you go into a gym, everyone's there working on themselves, so they don't have time to bully you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like even the biggest asshole is like, "Well, I'm doing this for me.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it to bully this guy. I'm really just trying to look hot, and you know, like he doesn't actually care about you."
Mm-hmm.
So like I always think, like even if you've never exercised ever, you should fucking do some sit-ups, do some push-ups. You'll be way happier. Yeah, you'll just be a happier person.
To me, it's like it's basically physical health is and mental health to me is tied in as one.
Oh yeah,
like there's not one without the other. And I'm not one of these people that can't take like a day off from the gym. But if for whatever reason, like I take a few days off, there's something, I get a little anxious. I get a little like,
a little squirrely.
A little squirrely is a good way to put it. Yeah. I'm pacing more. You know what I mean?
Cause you just need that like, you're just, you know, the energy. You just got to lose some energy.
And it's where I listen to music and I love music.
Yeah.
And you could just listen to music for 45 minutes to an hour and a half and just like have a nice time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's the best. Do you have so I know you do jujitsu. Do you also do strength training?
I'm not a weightlifting guy. I find it really boring.
Okay.
That's why I like doing jujitsu.
Okay.
Because it's like, I really struggle to exercise. I find exercise to be pretty boring if it's not like an active kind of thing.
Okay.
So like if I would do exercise, I like to hike, kayak, like I want to get out there and do stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I like jujitsu. Because literally it's like someone is trying to kill me.
Yeah.
You know,
It's useful too.
yeah. You're like, someone is attempting to kill you, and you're like, well, you got to do something. So you might as well learn, because it actually does work.
Yeah.
It legitimately works.
Have you had the opportunity to use your jujitsu training in a self-defense situation?
Not in a self-defense situation. My father has Alzheimer's, and sometimes you go a little bit nuts when you have Alzheimer's. You got like violent outbursts. So I've definitely had to subdue him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, he's way smaller than I could have done that.
He's in a different weight class.
Complete. He's a Bobby Sheehan.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different weight class.
Physically and mentally.
But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I like nothing I would like be proud of. I don't really care to get into a fight. Like when people are like, oh, jiu-jitsu is good for fighting. It's like, no, it's not. What if someone has a gun?
Yeah.
I can't wrestle a gun. I mean, it can. But.
And so I know very little about BJJ, but like you bring them down to the ground first, right?
Yeah.
You're on the ground, which in a self-defense situation,
Not a good place to be.
You're first, because self-defenses do the minimal amount of force that you have to do to then run away.
Yeah.
But if you're on the ground with him, you're on the ground with him. And also it's a perfect opportunity for his buddies to kick you in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, who are you fighting?
Yeah.
Are you fighting a bum? You want to touch a bum?
Yeah.
You want to grip up a bum, right? Like, you know, like, let his bum lips touch your neck? You know, like, no. Don't get in fights.
No, fighting is stupid.
You're being an adult.
Yeah.
Talk it out. I've like, ever since, I literally haven't been in a fight since I've kid. I've had close calls.
Yeah.
But I've always pretty much been able to talk myself out of every single fight.
It's, if you could put your ego aside for a second, like the few times as an adult as a sober adult, where I've had someone being like weird to me, like they're doing some sort of power play thing to me. If you just realize it's about egos, and if you just put your ego aside, realize that anyone that's fucking with you in that way has way more to lose than you do.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like someone that's like, I don't know, like it's this weird thing too, because I feel like a lot of men are in a power struggle with people that don't know that they're involved in a power struggle. You know what I mean?
Yep. A lot of times a dude will look at another dude and be like, he thinks he's fucking better than me.
Yeah.
You know, like he's taller than me. He looks like he lifts more than me. He thinks he can fuck better than me. And the guy's like, oh, maybe I might get turkey at lunch. You know, and it's just like you're coming at him with your fucking trauma.
Yeah.
You know, like that guy's coming at you with just his dad hitting him, calling him gay when he was 8 years. You know, like it's so much more than just like, you know, like, oh, you're doing this and I'm doing that. It's so, that person probably has so many issues.
Yeah.
To get into a fight as an adult, that's sad.
Yeah.
You know, like that's past sad. That's crazy.
Emotional immaturity.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, just don't be a part of it.
I remember one time I got, I don't think I might have told the story on Locker Room Talk before, but I had this weird thing with a guy in college, because a bunch of my friends and I went to a frat party, and I forget, like one of my friends like took something from his house, you know what I mean? Which is just a thing that like dumb drunk children do. Yeah. Like, oh,
stealing is a part of being drunk.
Yeah. There is something fun about stealing when you're drunk.
It's so fun.
I remember one time I went to a bar with friends, and my one friend was the DD, and he texted me the next day. He was like, "Did you steal a Febreze can from the bathroom of the bar that we were at?" And I was like, "I may have. That sounds like something I would do." It's inconsequential. Like I would never steal like a wallet from somebody, but just like that's what it was to me, a trophy. Yeah. I was like, look what I
fucking did.
Or a glass from a bar. Yeah. I remember one time, a friend of mine, we each stole glasses from a bar. We were both hammered, but where we differed in our manner of being hammered is that he then wanted to go to an empty place and smash the glass. And to me,
that's destructive.
That's chaotic. It's not fun. That's chaotic, because then also like a dog can like step on it later or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got you.
But
what did you want to do? Do you keep them Like Dahmer trophies.
Like Dahmer trophies.
You're like, yes.
Dahmer trophies is so disgusting, by the way. Exhibit A, another Dahmer trophy, a brain of a Puerto Rican teenager.
Yeah, it's like, I was drunk. I stole that. I stole it when I was drunk. That's crazy. Maybe that's what Dahmer was doing.
He was an alcoholic.
He was just getting super plastered and he was like, I just got to steal this guy's foot. That's what I need.
He really, what I find fascinating about Jeffrey Dahmer is he had he wasn't a sadist like a Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer really felt bad, but he's like, I gotta do it.
Yeah. It's like, nah, just listen. It's just my thing.
Yeah, it's his thing, dude. Don't keep
I got a little quirk.
Got a little quirky, dude.
But we're all a little bit. There's a little bit of Dahmer in all of us.
Well, the real Jeffrey Dahmer, please stand up.
Yeah. And I know there's some Dahmer in you listening, and it's okay.
I completely forgot what we were talking about.
Getting drunk and stealing stuff.
Oh, getting drunk and stealing things. Oh, okay. So yeah, I had this thing with this guy in college. So my friend allegedly took something from his house, and apparently he, the guy who felt wronged, took it upon himself to avenge that by every time he would see me in public, he would fuck with me, not the other guys. Like he was like Bobby's like the smallest guy, so he's like, I'll just fuck.
So
with
he
him.
was scared of that other guy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So he would just see me and he would go, tell me the address of where your friend lives, and I'd be like, hey man, I don't want a problem, but I'm also not gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then eventually my friend was like, just tell him, and I'm like, that feels like a bridge too far. Like I don't want to fight this guy, but I also don't want to.
No one wants to be a snitch.
I don't want to negotiate with terrorists.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy was crazy. Like I would see him in a bar, like we'd walk into the same bar and I'd be like, oh boy. And he wouldn't say anything, but then he would get the fucking beer muscles and come over to me and be like, you think you're fucking cool? And I'd be like, I objectively don't.
Yeah. No, I have low self-esteem. Actually, I don't. I really don't. I need to see a therapist.
It actually, just because, like, again, it feels weird as a man to back down from a fight, but if you're,
it eats me up.
Yeah, but you have to.
I've been in a couple, like in the last year.
Oh, really?
Where it's just like, yeah, and it's like, oh, I could have fucking killed that guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like a bitch, but also like, what if he stabbed me to death?
Or what if you accidentally killed him? Yeah, then you go to prison.
Yeah, and then I'm getting raped.
Yeah,
and then I fucking find out I'm gay. I love it. I'm in a relationship. I'm married.
Yeah,
you know, like there's so many things.
And you're like, what does it mean to be a gay Hispanic Jew? What is it? But then you write in an hour of stand-up comedy that gets picked up by
HBO
Latino. By an HBO Latino.
And then I'm fucking in. Then I have my gimmick. Then I'm the gay rapist Latino.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, he did kill a guy. And you're like,
yeah.
Well, let's have an intersectional conversation about this.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. But does he have 20 minutes that murders?
Yeah.
That's the real question. You know? There's actually a lot of comics that have tried to kill guys. They don't hold on really long, but you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like Leo or whatever their star sign is.
Yeah, you know? Aries, that guy too.
Yeah.
But no more fights for me, dude. No more fights for me.
Yeah, fighting is so. This guy in college, I cut the legs of it like in a way that surprised him. I think because he was like, "Why don't you come outside?" And I was like, "I don't want to fight you." And he was like, "You're a pussy." And I was like, "I suppose so." And then he just kind of looked at me like, what do I do now?
Yeah, you hit him with the scholar Riz.
Yeah. I was fucking Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense because at the end he does threaten him with violence.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Well.
Damon would have went outside and beat the living shit out of that guy.
Yeah,
but I mean, listen. Sometimes you do need to fight. Like if someone is like trying to hurt you.
Yeah,
of course,
self-defense for sure.
Defend yourself, but like don't pick a fight. You know. That's my thing.
People are confused about the differentiation between self-defense and fighting. Like some people think self-defense is like if a guy pushes you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. That's like bro law, not US law.
Yeah, exactly.
You're supposed to try to remove yourself from the situation first.
Yeah. Like just chill out. Always run. Just run. What is he going to do? Chase you?
Yeah.
Then he's That's worse.
Mhm.
If a guy runs and you're chasing him, what are you?
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like just give it up. He's not gonna chase after you.
Mhm.
But I get it. I get the ego of a man. I have it. I have
Yeah.
a massive ego.
Same.
I think everyone does,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, but just don't. Just try not to.
Yeah.
Don't. You know.
I mean, I feel like every violent encounter is an opportunity to either die or go to prison. And
Yeah.
I don't want to do
Or
either
make
of those
love.
things. Or
It
make
could
love.
easily turn into a loving situation.
That's if a guy's like, hey, you want to go outside, and you step outside with him and you just passionately kiss him.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good.
And he just jumps into your arms. You're holding him.
And then the theme from the Titanic plays by Celine Dion.
I can't quit you. Why, what is it?
That's
Why
Brokeback
can't I
Mountain.
quit you?
Yeah, I wish I could quit you.
Yeah.
Hell
You know,
yeah,
like
dude.
that. I mean, I also do think fighting a lot is kind of gay.
It is sort of this thing of like,
Because I've done a lot of like martial arts all throughout my life. I did karate as a kid, jujitsu, I did Muay Thai. I've done it all. There's always like this like little like gayness in the air.
yeah.
Fighting is gay.
I remember in Little League there was this one kid that I guess watched it on TV. So he started emulating it. That every time, like you would get a hit or whatever,
Slap ass.
he would slap your ass.
Yeah.
And he did it to me once. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I got my ass slapped many a time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very accustomed to an ass slap.
Okay.
So like I'm used to it. But you're right. It is a weird. It's almost like a gay guy tricked everyone. You know, like he made it a social thing to slap ass because there's no reason.
Yeah.
Why are you slapping my ass? Like what is your reasoning? Why do you want to slap my ass, brother?
Yeah.
It is very interesting.
Is ass slapping a thing in jiu-jitsu?
Not really.
Which is, by the way, have you figured out that that's a word I struggle saying? For
Yeah,
some reason?
you've been really.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But you're saying it like actually like a Brazilian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Brazilians are jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
they say it. Yeah.
That's what I was doing the whole time.
Yeah.
Is I was,
You
it's
know?
like when you go to Spain and you're like, it's actually pronounced Barcelona.
Yeah, and you speak like an idiot.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about being in Barcelona. You just speak like a fucking moron. It's like, I'm just here for the fucking apples. And they're
you-
like, this guy's lived here his entire life.
Have you been there?
No, I've never been anywhere.
Oh, okay, because you do speak Spanish.
No,
I thought you did.
no,
Because you're,
no. I'm Puerto Rican, but don't speak Spanish. No.
not even. Okay, Jesse, I think you might be the first Puerto Rican that has said the sentence, "I don't speak Spanish." I know, to be fair, I know a lot of Puerto Ricans that I
They-
know don't speak
they
Spanish.
don't speak Spanish.
But they all say, "Oh, I can understand a little bit."
I mean, no, I understand. I actually understand a lot. If someone speaks, I get it. But the words, they don't come to me.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I don't speak naturally. I remember when I used to get really drunk, I could actually speak Spanish. I think it's literally a confidence thing.
Okay.
Because I grew up hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But just like using my mouth for that
Yeah.
is really, I don't know. It just seems like something I can't do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've never spoke Spanish ever.
I'm so impressed by people that are bilingual because they learned their second language as an adult. That to me seems to be like an impossible thing to do.
Nah, dude, it's easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's easy. If you're around people that speak that, you'll be picking it up in a month. I promise you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I in college, I decided to try Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
So I like,
You're Jewish.
yeah, and but
for
I
the
didn't speak
listeners, not
Hebrew. We just like, I just hung out like with the other Jewish kids and then the teacher, and I picked it up pretty quick, but I lost it immediately. Like as soon as I was not speaking Hebrew, it was gone.
Aksamea.
Don't even know what the fuck that means, dude. I lost it all.
I think you say that during a holiday, but I'm not positive what it means.
I only know like I only know what is it, like manishma,
Okay.
which is like what's up.
Ooh, that's
You
cool.
know, like that, like that's. But I don't remember like a whole bunch from it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like language is like it's very intrinsic to pick it up. When someone's like, oh, I can't speak Spanish or I can't like learn Portuguese or something like that, it's like, well, are you trying? Like, are you immersing yourself? Like, if you watch a YouTube video, if you watch like a YouTube video every day that has Portuguese and you like practice it, you'll start picking up Portuguese. It's literally that simple. Your brain is designed that way.
I think it's much harder when you're an adult, though. That's the thing. Is like when you're a child, when you care the least, is like when you're most.
I'm telling you, you could do it.
Okay.
If you want to go to a Spanish bar once a week and just be around that shit, and then like do like some Rosetta Stone in your free time, I promise you, you're gonna start speaking Spanish.
When I was with my ex, who lives in Sunset Park, where there's a Spanish community there, Hispanic community, we used to go to a restaurant that was owned by people from El Salvador, and it was one of those things. I feel like this happens in New York a lot, where you go into a restaurant and you're like, oh, this is an ethnic restaurant, and they're gonna, but sometimes you walk in and they all look at you like, oh, this is actually just for us, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh, you went into like one for the locals.
Yeah, we
like,
walked in,
this guy.
nobody spoke. They were nice, but literally they didn't speak English.
Yeah,
and so she's very smart, and so she can kind of do it, and she'd order for me. You know what I mean? Like I know I do Duolingo, of course, but I have the fucking cringiest gringo accent.
Yeah,
like,
but that's literally what I'm saying. It's just your confidence.
Okay.
You know you just admitted you knew the words, but you just didn't have the confidence to actually go and fucking roll that R.
Yeah,
that's literally it.
Okay.
But if you went and you were like, you know, like whatever. Yeah. And they just gave you food, then, you know, like you could have done it. It's all like speaking a language is literally a lot of confidence.
Okay.
Especially when you're like a romantic language, which is like a very demonstrative. Yeah, there you go. You know, you
just
gotta
start sashaying a little bit.
Yeah, you literally, it's confidence.
Dude, I fucked a Colombian woman and it might have ruined my life.
Why?
I think
you got herpes. What? I'm serious. Why are you laughing? That happens sometimes.
It does happen. I've successfully avoided that, surprisingly, but
some of us haven't.
Yeah. Damn, dude, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It happens.
Yeah.
It's proof that I got pussy.
That is true. Yeah. It's
no one can take that away from me.
No one can take it away.
No one can take that from me.
Yeah. And you know what? Like herpes in 2023, whatever. You take your medicine.
Yeah. Also, like so many people have it and they just lie. And you're like, I have herpes. And they're like, I do too.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They just lie.
Yeah.
So many people, if you have hooked up, you've probably fucked someone with herpes and they just didn't tell you.
Jeez.
I'm so serious.
I feel like you got it. That's got to be a conversation. It's a difficult conversation.
I'm telling you, so many people don't have that conversation.
Damn.
I'm telling you. Most people don't.
Yikes. That's wild.
It's hard. It's an awkward ass conversation. Why would you do that instead of just fucking and never seeing that person again?
Oh, yeah. We'll wrap it up at least, I guess, right?
Yeah, but come on. That's how you got it in the first place. Because you didn't do that.
Why would you learn from your mistake?
Yeah, no, get out of here. You know, but yeah, herpes is like, I feel like it's a big stigma, but it's actually really not terrible. It's like actually very manageable.
Yeah. I feel like if I got it, I wouldn't be thrilled, but I'd be like, you know, that's kind of the price of playing to some extent.
Yeah,
you know?
you go through like a fucking year of like, no one's ever gonna fuck me again, and then you tell someone, they're like, yeah, I'll suck it, and then you're like, oh, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back, baby.
I'm back, dude.
Yeah,
and it's literally that simple.
I've talked about this before, but it is funny to me that like I am with a new person. I am very strict about wearing a condom. I always wear a condom, but
this is why you never got herpes. Me,
yeah,
I was wild.
But I will say like I've never like I would never put a dental dam on a woman's pussy. That feels rude. And I would never put a condom on a woman and have her suck the condom.
Oh, you know yeah. No, that's
which is irrational, because if you're like, oh, I'll wear a condom when it's in the pussy, but I'm like, yeah, but all that, protected oral sucks so bad.
Yeah, no, eating pussy through saran wrap is for losers.
And you know what? Women have requested wear a condom. No woman before I've eaten her pussy has gone, let me get the dental dam.
Yeah.
It's never, you know what? Because there's so many men that don't eat pussy that
Yeah.
they're like, I'm so happy you're here right now.
Exactly. Absolutely. And also like the part of the pussy you eat is so different from the pussy you fuck. If you got it's a whole different sitch. You know, like you're uptown.
Folks were asking you to pull out your vagina diagrams
if
or vulva diagrams, as it were.
For those of you who can't find the clit, you know, it's a different spot. You should never do that.
Well, Jesse, if people want to DM you asking where the clit is, where can they do so?
You can find me at Jesse M Comic on Instagram. On TikTok, I am not a white supremacist. 69.
Is that really your handle?
Yes.
That must be great for the algorithm.
Oh, I've been. It doesn't. I'm not for success. I'm not built for success. I have built my life now that I know 6 years in completely wrong and for comedy. But I do like to think that I am funny.
You are funny, guys. Please follow Jesse on everything.
Please help.
Anything else you want to plug, Jesse?
Nah, I don't got nothing's happening for me.
Just nothing's happening for Jesse, but please follow him
I
everywhere.
work at the Dojo of Comedy constantly, so you can come out to Morris
Great
Plains. Club. Yeah, I love it. You know, I'm doing CFC all the time, and I'm also DJing at Room 52, just a lot in general.
Hell
so
yeah.
I'm at Room 52 in Manhattan a lot in general. So if you just want to see me, I'll be pressing buttons and sitting behind a laptop.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, thank you for joining us. And remember, folks, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm just playing Night Owls. You know I love you.
Thank you